Tonio Kröger is a German novella by Thomas Mann, first released in 1903 and later reissued in the Bristol Classical Press German Texts collection. It follows the journey of one man from youth to maturity, uncovering how art shapes our inner selves. The story examines the psychology and temperament of creative minds and thinkers through the experience of a single boy. Mann, who was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1929, is renowned for his symbolic, deeply introspective fiction. His works consistently explore the inner life of artists and the evolution of the imaginative spirit. At the start of the narrative, Tonio is still a child. He senses a distance between himself and other youngsters. He is acutely perceptive, unusually clever, and unsettled by his own difference. Friendships come rarely since none of the local children seem able to relate to him. He is tall, gawky, and hopeless at physical activities, which makes him an easy target to ignore. The boys at school scarcely give him a second glance. Even his home life highlights contrasts. His parents are polar opposites, and Tonio is intrigued by this divide. His father, Consul Kroger, a businessman from the north, values order, discipline, and unwavering effort. He expects excellence in his son. Tonio's mother, Consuelo, possesses a free artistic spirit and wishes only for her son to discover joy in what he loves. Pleasing both parents proves nearly impossible, and Tonio spends much of his childhood trying to strike that impossible balance. Sharp-eyed and reflective, Tonio is endlessly curious about people. At school, he becomes captivated by a boy named Hans Hansen. Hans is everything Tonio is not: blonde, blue-eyed, athletic, admired by everyone. In Hans, Tonio sees the same straightforward strength as in his father. Tonio himself has the dark, striking features inherited from his southern mother, and he can't help questioning why he shares so little resemblance with the man he is expected to emulate. Tonio studies Hans constantly because he idolizes him. He longs for friendship, yet Hans is surrounded by admirers and barely acknowledges Tonio, except in the most casual, courteous way. Though Hans is never cruel, the two can never truly be close. They belong to different worlds. This pains Tonio, but he refuses to change himself to win approval. He would rather be liked for his true nature. Where Hans thrives socially and athletically, Tonio prefers losing himself in demanding books and abstract ideas. If Hans happily mounts a horse, Tonio would rather imagine its beauty from the page. He is startlingly aware of his own mind, even at a young age, and equally harsh in judging others whom he sees as shallow or foolish. His suspicion of authority extends to his teachers, whom he accuses of ignorance and pretense. Resentful, he begins to skip classes and his grades collapse. His truancy leads to stern punishment from the consul, though Consuelo remains unconcerned, convinced that a school that offers him nothing is hardly worth attending. After Tonio eventually leaves that academic environment behind, Hans fades from memory until a new obsession takes root. At a dance lesson, he suddenly recognizes the beauty of Ingeborg Holm, a girl he has known since childhood. Her resemblance to Hans awakens all the old emotions he thought he had outgrown. Tonio understands that his passionate responses stem from having a creative spirit. His ability to love intensely and fixate on beauty marks him as an artist. He admires people like Hans and Ingeborg, who represent conventional, admired society, yet he knows he can never truly belong among them. His difference is not merely physical, it is woven into his character. In time, Tonio begins to turn his unusual nature into a source of pride. Determined to become a writer and realize his deepest dreams, he gradually stops yearning for the approval of the ordinary world, but achieving literary greatness comes with a price. If he is to master his art, Tonio must give up certain comforts and personal joys. Writing for others, for an audience rather than for himself alone, becomes a necessary struggle. This conflict-tormented man as well, and Tonio's frustration mirrors his creator's lifelong difficulty reconciling art with acceptance. Tonio concludes that artists will always exist on the margins, never fully embraced by society. This belief seems validated when, as a grown man, he travels to a different city and is mistaken for a fugitive because of his southern appearance. In that moment, he realizes once and for all that he is destined to live outside the boundaries of the familiar everyday life. Accepting this, he dedicates himself to cultivating his unique talents and celebrating the very differences that set him apart. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this video, leave a like and subscribe.